There we are. Now we're live.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Welcome to Let Freedom Ring. We're going live and we're going to talk all things baseball today. My guests, all returning guests of the show. We got Nerds of Wrestling, Justin Del Rio, who has helped me start the StreamYard. Justin, how are you today?
Doing good, Dan. How are you, man? Thank you so much for having me.
Good, good. Happy to have you. We got Moira McCabe, returning to the show, a two-time guest of the show. Maura, how you doing today?
Doing well, Dan. How are you?
Good, good. And returning for his second appearance, we have Nick Cappa as well. Nick, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well, Dan. How you doing? Thanks for having me on there, buddy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys doing that. I know there's some big basketball games happening right now and some wrestling, but thanks for making the time to talk some baseball. But
Of course.
we're gonna go around. We're gonna go around first and just kind of you've all been introduced to the Let Freedom Ring audience, but we want to know what's your baseball team. How did you become a fan of that team? Nick, let's start with you.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah. So I'm a diehard Chicago Cubs fan. Been a Cubs fan my whole life, and some people, said, they say it's a curse rather than, anything else. But I love my Cubbies. I love Wrigley, Field. I live and die by it. And became a Cubs fan. I was 3 years old, and I remember my grandfather. He brought me to Wrigley Field and walked up those those steps. Saw like the ivy and the outfield, field, the scoreboards. I saw Kerry Wood in the bullpen warming up when when the bullpens were on the field, and I was hooked. It's like a healthy drug. You just get hooked to it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Awesome, awesome,
I
and
love that.
we know Cubs fans have shared some of the same experiences as us Red Sox fans. And we're gonna get to the Red Sox in a second because I want to go with you next, Mo. Who's your team and how'd you become a fan?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I forgot to mention that too. um, I'm a Phillies fan. I'm wearing my jersey right now. I mean, I really can't remember a specific time where it was, hey, I'm a fan of the Phillies, but I mean, I come from a baseball family. My dad played in college. He actually was the Division I 1980 baseball in college. He was the batting champion, so that was pretty cool. And kind of just one of those natural things that fell in love with the game. I mean, I can remember walking around Veteran Stadium when that was a thing, and I think me and my grandfather, similar to Nick, what he was talking about having it handed down. We like showed up to practice, and that was back in the day where security is probably like not paying attention and went in and were watching like batting practice like way early in the day. So that was pretty funny. And then I guess my earliest memory would have been from the 1993 World Series. And I actually remember the night that Joe Carter hit that home run, which basically, clinched it for the Blue Jays to win the World Series that year. And it was
Oh
like
yeah.
thunderstorming. And like, if I had never moved to New Hampshire, the area I would have grown up is like right outside, right in the suburbs of Philly, and it was like storming outside. So just as like one of those, oh, here we go again. And the Phillies are, I don't know if they still are, but they were like the losingest team in all sports, like not that long ago, like less than 20 years ago. So, well, it is hard to be a Philly sports fan in general. There's nothing like going to a baseball game and hearing the crack of a bat, having a beer and a hot dog and sitting back and just having a good time.
Yeah, for sure. And then I do follow that page, that Philly page,
Yeah.
on Philly sports, and they are very aggressive at times,
Yeah.
for sure. Justin, how about you? How did you fall in love with the game? Who's your team?
Dan, you already know, man. I'm a diehard Sox fan. I've been a big Red Sox fan since I was about, I want to say, 6 years old. I grew up in a Red Sox household, man. Being a Red Sox fan was either you're a Sox fan or you're no fan. Like that's the only team you're gonna like.
Yeah.
So the earliest memories I have was just watching the Red Sox play. I just remember a lot of the Yankees and Red Sox rivalry was hot back in the day, as you know, Dan, 03, 04, when I was like 10 years old. The first time I went to Fenway Park, actually, I was 6 years old, and it was in 2001. And I saw the Green Monster, but not with the seats. I saw just like the giant net they had at the time. So yeah, which was pretty cool to see that. When when you guys were talking, I went to go to my room, my other side of the room. I wanted to show you guys the first thing I ever got at a Red Sox game. I was 6 years old. I got a signed ball by Jason Veritek right
I love
there.
Jason Veritek.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Jason Veritek. Yeah, I never showed you that, Dan. That was awesome.
No,
I
no, that's
remember
awesome.
we, we were sitting above the bullpen, and my mom. I was with my mom and my stepdad, and my mom took me down to the bullpen to watch the pitchers and catchers warm up, and then all I see is Jason Veritek running from the field, to do his warm ups in a bullpen and everything. And but before he came in, I guess like the bullpen coach took out like 20 baseballs and gave them to all the kids, and I got one of them. And my mom took out a marker, and when Jason Veritek was done with his warm ups, he signed my ball, and 20 years later, I still have it right there. So
That's
it's
amazing.
something, yeah, dude. I never touched it. It's been in this box for like 20 years. But yeah, Dan, I'm gonna talk about the best memories I ever had as a Red Sox fan was seeing the Red Sox come back in 2004 to beat the Yankees after being down 3 games to none.
Yeah, nothing I think can ever really replace that. Like how insane that was. Like obviously, like Mo and Nick, you've seen some crazy because obviously the Cubs went to Game 7 with the Indians. Two
Man,
franchises. You know,
I thought the Cubs were done when they were down 3-1. I thought that series was over and done for. And then, and then Johnny Lester, former like a Red Sox, he pitched us to like a victory in Game 5, and I thought, you know what, man, maybe we have we have a shot. And then we went to Cleveland, and the rest was like a history.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I gotta say, I got into the game. Obviously, like growing up in New England, it was kind of weird in my time because the Red Sox were not on Nesson all the time. You had to pay for Nesson. It,
What?
it, it cost extra money. Like it wasn't like it is today. But you could watch the Braves every night on TBS.
Yep.
And we would watch the Braves pretty much every night because the first sport I ever loved was baseball. And you'd see the Red Sox here and there. So I grew up for a little bit really despising the Phillies in '93, Mo, because they knocked the Braves off. We want, hoping they'd go back to the World Series. Um, but then obviously the first time I went to Fenway Park, I was in second grade, and seeing the field for the first time was just this unbelievable feeling. Um, Interesting you bring up a signed ball too, Justin, because when in '95, me and Tim, my brother, tried to get Tim Naring's autograph,
nice.
and Tim Naring refused to do so.
What?
Long story short, his career did not last very long after that. So I don't know if we put a hex on him or something, but yeah, no, good to hear. Now, obviously we've been stuck in this pandemic. When is the last time you guys got to go to a game? Mo, I'm gonna let you go first because it sounds like going from your pictures, you've been back.
Yeah, I went to opening day and I also went to the game on Saturday.
Nice.
They just increased it from 8,800 people to like close to 11,000. So I think Philly's kind of going slowly with their restrictions and whatnot. Um, but I mean, I felt pretty safe. It was just really fun to be back and be around people that are interested in the same thing and wanting the Phillies to win. And even with that small of people, the energy that the fans brought was just good for the amount of people that were there. But I mean, it was pretty fun because how long have we gone without like booing an umpire in person or like
Oh,
just getting on the other team and just you stink or like it didn't take too long for the fans to yell suck after each brave were announced, and even on opening day it was the entire roster, like it, coaches included, and you have people yelling that after every name. And it was fun to sweep them, though. I mean, to see videos of people with like broomsticks too, like, you know, at the game or after it, and waiting for the Braves buses to come out and, you know, showing the brooms. It just was, it's just really good that there's something to look forward to other than hearing about, you know, all the other stuff going on in the world. And I think it's good for people to have that break from that. So,
It gives us a bit of normalcy
yeah,
in the
Yeah.
world. For sure.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, before we just get into that, I guess just one topic we kind of just want to touch base on, because seeing the pictures were absolutely crazy to think about. But
Mhm.
Texas, the Rangers held the
Yes,
game
I was
today,
talk about
Yeah.
that.
full capacity.
Yeah, I saw
Nuts.
that.
Um,
Forty
Yeah.
thousand people.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
What the?
yeah.
That is crazy. And
Nick,
they
what are
didn't
your
have to wear
thoughts?
masks.
Yeah,
Um,
no,
I,
no, it didn't look good.
I mean, I'll think I'll be the first one to tell you that there's, nothing more I love than looking at a baseball, stadium and seeing just, massive amounts of, like, people. That's what the sport was, like, built on. Um, I don't know if going full blast right away was the right thing to do. Um, but people are itching for that little bit of a normalcy, and to be able to be at the ballpark and see your team, and because in a lot of ways, the sporting event is what people go to as like their outlet for what's going on in their lives. And
Right.
obviously with the pandemic, it hasn't been easy on like anybody. um, and I know that the state of Texas, lifted their mask of like a policy. It would have been cool to maybe see a couple more like a people like a like a wearing masks, but also on the like on the flip side, if you know they can have a a full stadium of like a people, and it's just cases either stay at bay, or they can do it in a smart way. I think it opens the door for other teams and other stadiums to slowly up their amount of of people. I certainly hope that by the All Star break or by the playoffs, we can have everybody in every stadium. But that's just me thinking as a sports
Right.
fan. So obviously, if things aren't under control, then probably not. But you know it's a it's a positive thing. I would just view it with a caution.
Yeah, Justin, what are your thoughts on kind of what happened today?
Same thing. Kind of the same thing Nick said. I love seeing it. I really do. But you can't do that. That's 40. That's full capacity in
Yeah.
that freaking stadium, man. That's 40, bro. That's more people. Dan, that's more people than they're going to be at WrestleMania in a football
Yeah,
stadium this week. That's 40,000 people. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of people, and they didn't have to wear. Some of them didn't have to wear masks. They're next to each other. They're, like I love seeing it. I really, really love seeing it. It's like gives us a bit of normalcy. But we gotta remember that we're still in this pandemic, and it's not over yet. Like I mean, we're kind of close, but we're not really close. If you keep doing shit like this, it's gonna get worse. Texas having
I know.
allowing them to have 40,000 people, that is just nuts. I'm just like I was just shaking my head. I'm like, that's wild.
We're turning the corner, and it's kind of like Texas, like, yeah, we're just open back up. We do have some questions, not questions, but some comments coming in from Facebook. This is pretty cool from Stephen Dennis. He's saying Texas full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Obviously, put kind of like a mad face, and also saying shouldn't see Fenway that full. They don't deserve our money. Which have you seen? The Red Sox did not look good this weekend.
Oh my God, no.
Um,
Terrible. It's okay. It's the beginning of the season,
I
Danny. We
might
still got
just,
time.
you know what? And that's one thing that I have to say. And what do you guys think of this? Of fans that start getting bent out of shape when you have 182 games and they're starting to get bent out of shape in April. Any thoughts on that?
So I it as a fan, Dan, and you guys all know, it sucks seeing our team play like shit. Like we say,
Or
I'll
106.
talk all
Yeah.
the yeah, I'll talk all the
Yeah.
shit in a row. What the hell, Red Sox? Come on, like what's going on? Then I'm like, it's the third game. Calm down. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah.
relax. But like I mean, I guess to each their own. I mean, in their mindset, yeah, they're talking shit, but they know like we still got 161 games left to play, so we got time.
What do you guys? What do you think, Nick and Mo?
I think from being a Cubs fan for so long, and living under that name of lovable losers, and seeing the Cubs out of contention by June for so many years, and then they peaked in 2015, where they almost made it to like the World's the series, and then they won it in 2016, and then after that, all of a sudden, the Cubs have been on like a decline. And they have all this, like talent. They're a high profile, sports town. The owners spend all this money on, making the like neighborhood, the ballpark, this like a place that you want to come to, but they haven't spent any money on on the team, because when it comes to the team, all of a sudden they're broke. And so it's frustrating when like when you watch these guys like like a KB, Rizzo, Javier Baez, guys that were explosive in 2016, and now it's like, what have you done for me now? And it's crazy because they're humans, they're athletes, but it's like, what when are you gonna no longer be the same old Chicago Cubs?
Right.
Yeah. No. Agreed. Mo. No. No. I got to hear. I got to hear your take on Philly. 'Cause Philly kind of has kind of like Boston fans. They kind of have their reputation of being very intense. So
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm on the other side of it right now, so I haven't experienced the lows of a baseball season, but it's just the start. I mean, teams can go on hot streaks, and I really think that, you know, at Fenway, I don't think there's fans yet, right? So, um,
they have fans, but not
okay,
There's a
many.
few
yeah,
fans.
I
They're
didn't
not a
really
lot.
Yeah.
hear much when I was watching some of the highlights, but it really does make an impact on the game. Like you almost make that field very neutral. Or any field you're playing at neutral when there's no one there like making any noise. So um I mean baseball's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So it is a long season and your teams will, get some wins and there'll be a few losses in between, but I mean, I think at this point, I'm just really happy that there's something to look forward to in person, at least
Yeah.
a little bit more
Yeah,
than there was last year. And I think just having that there, like, it's been more exciting to watch, I think. And like you're saying, like, hopefully, as things get better, more and more restrictions will be lifted, not just with baseball, but, life in general. I don't know what it feels like for you guys. I just feel like, um, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm walking around with, my mask on and, there are others who aren't, and that's their choice. I'm not going to tell them about it, but I just really think that as we keep doing the right things, that hopefully these restrictions that seem like freedoms that are being taken away will be lifted and we can go on and continue to,
yeah,
enjoy our lives a little bit more. But again, like I said, I feel like um, once you get more crowds in there, I think you'll see a big difference in players' behavior and their energy when they come to the ballpark, and they'll put together more wins for you.
No, I agree with that. And like I said, I think what they're doing in Texas is totally insane. I don't have a problem with fans returning, but we gotta use some common sense too at the same
Yeah.
time. Like so.
Forty
Um,
thousand people. That just blows my mind. I saw that. I was like, no comment. I was like, what the fuck? Wow.
That's the first time that they've had
So we do it.
40,000 there in a while.
Yeah,
That's
well, yeah,
nuts.
everybody's right. Yeah,
Wait, so hold on. That's their first time. Like the fans, like everybody was to fill up that stadium because that stadium was brand new.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
did some stuff there last year. Like the playoffs were there. They had some
Right.
college baseball tournaments, but nothing that was
Nothing
like a
for the Rangers.
40,000. Right? Yeah, nothing for
Right.
like the Rangers.
Yeah. So that was like the first time the fans get to see like their team play in the new stadium, which I get, but you could have had like 20,000 at least.
Yeah,
yeah. That some of these states though have just not cared. I mean,
Nope.
Florida, they don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't care at the start.
Not
They
that
yeah,
they
Florida
don't
never
seem to
cared.
care all that much now. You know. All right, we got some fan questions. Some of these were directed, I think, towards Michael Schultz and John Nagel, who are absent. We'll have to get them on at another time. Jesse DeLay, Uncle Jesse, future guest of the show. Who is the best player on this particular baseball player on this particular panel? I want a unanimous decision, demand satisfaction. I want to say I'm the best. Tell why. I want that type of Kenny Powers confidence. Anybody wants to take the claim for their baseball or softball history?
Oh God.
man.
Wait,
I
wait,
couldn't.
wait.
I couldn't hit to save my life.
I was a very good hitter. I was decent, but when it came to fielding, I sucked. I think my average total, like my whole career, was like probably like 360. That's it. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't. I mean, 360 is like good, but it's not. I could have done better.
yeah. I caught for 12 years, and I think I was proud of my pop time. But I always hit probably either eighth or ninth, like in high school, because I couldn't hit to save my life. I usually was the kid that had to put down like the bunt, and that's about all I could
Oh,
do. That's
oh
about
God,
all I could
I would
do.
have hated that.
Yeah.
Hell, I would have hated that. My coach told me to bunt. I was like, no, I'll swing it away.
Well, and we know Mo, you played for St. A's, correct? For
Yeah.
softball.
I played in college. Yeah.
So you may have to take it because you played in
that
college. Like
was going to be
Yeah,
my
I
only
played
I think
senior
she,
Babe
argument.
I
Ruth.
think
That
she
was like
has it.
my
I mean, I've
yeah.
only, for everyone that's in this right now, I've only seen you play, Dan. I don't know if I've seen Nick or um, Nerds of
Justin.
Wrestling. Okay, Justin, sorry. I was
Justin.
going to say Nerds of Wrestling. I didn't want to
I
call
forgot
you
to change it.
that.
Yeah.
um, but if John was on this, because I've seen him play, I feel like, as you get older, sometimes um, your play goes down, but he seems to be pretty solid whenever I've seen him play, especially shortstop and you know U-trip, which is really scary to play. And he's
Yeah.
snagging balls left and right, and he's still got a good bat. So here's your shout
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
John, even though you're probably sleeping right now.
Yeah. Yeah. He might. I think John is probably sleeping because he was on the fence about it being 9 o'clock as it was. But yeah, no, a lot of fun. I mean, I definitely got to say, I loved like baseball growing up, but obviously as you get older, softball is just more manageable to do.
I
Yeah,
love
I
And
love
slow
softball.
pitch
playing.
I
softball
I
want
that
love
is.
like
playing softball.
I want to play
You
softball so
know.
bad. Like I want to be on a team.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, you just go. I mean, you could find something. I'm sure. I mean, I'm on like 5 teams, which I gotta. As I get older, that's getting harder to do, for
Right.
sure. Um, we got some questions from Anthony Amato here, who again, I wanted Anthony on the show pretty bad because he's a Yankees fan, and I wanted us to kind
Oh,
of get into it with him just a little bit. But I guess he's not going to give us that satisfaction tonight. But
next
what's
time, Anthony.
every yeah that we're gonna have to do this again, so we'll have to get him on.
That's a come on.
Um, what's everyone's favorite opening day moment? Let's start with Justin.
Oh my opening day. Uh I don't remember. I couldn't tell you. That's a very vague question. That's like kind of it's a hard question. That
That
I
is
don't I
definitely a
don't
hard
really
question.
remember. I don't really have any to be honest.
I mean, if I had to pick, I'd say the first Red Sox. If we're saying like, because I don't know if the Red Sox opening day was the first game was in Fenway or they were on the road, but I still have the frame picture of Poppy with his ring. from the 2005 opening day. That was I love that. Seeing them get their rings.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you were there in person?
I wasn't there in person. But I watched it live on TV. I think every year that they had a ring ceremony was like that's all. That really is what sticks out in my head.
That's it.
Uh, Nick, how about you?
It was 2008. I think I was 13. No, maybe I don't know how old I was, but the Cubs were opening up against like the Brewers. It was 2008. It was that year that everybody picked the Cubs to win. Like the national, like a league. It was the just Derek Lee, Ramos Ramirez, Kosuke Fukudome. Like a team. The team was stacked, and my mom wouldn't let me stay home from school. But I remember as soon as school was out, I ran home. I turned it on. The Cubs were down 3-1 to Milwaukee. It was a rainy day. Eric Gagne was on the hill. It was like the eighth inning, and like a Kosuke came up. There's 2 outs, runner on, and Kosuke just hit this moonshot. He crushed this, like a pitch, and Wrigley just went nuts. The whole place erupted. It was crazy. I was watching it on TV. I was, like just jumping up and down. And then after, I listened to like the radio call, and you hear like a Ron Santo just go crazy, and that man, he lived and died Cubs baseball, and he never saw the Cubs win, like win it all, but just to hear that call, I that's the coolest opening day thing I've ever seen.
I love that. That's
Nice,
awesome.
nice. Yeah, I mean, the Cubs definitely have a lot of great memories.
History.
Obviously, just trying
Yeah.
to get there. Mo, what's yours?
I would have to say 2011, the Phillies. I want to say they opened up with the Reds, but don't quote me on that. They were down and they got some runners on base. This was in the bottom of the ninth, and John Mayberry Jr., who I don't even know if he's in baseball anymore, hit a line drive up the middle to win the game. And I can just remember that being like really exciting because that was the fifth year like the Phillies were supposed in a row. The Phillies were supposed to be really good, and they had made the playoffs, all those other years. And you never know each year what your team's going to look like, even if you have the same guys coming in. So, and I'm pretty sure he was pretty young too. So it was exciting to see. Okay, but now we got some younger talent. Hopefully this will be the future of the Phillies too. But lo and behold, the last 10 years we have not made the playoffs. So hopefully that changes this year. Um, but I would have to say in person, I mean, obviously I was at opening day on Thursday, and Gene Segura hit a grounder over the third baseman's head and won the game in extra innings. I think it was in the 10th. I will say though, I don't like the runner on second to
Mm,
start off extra innings.
Yeah, I don't
I
like that
don't think
either.
they should do that because then it's like, okay, so if the opposing team gets to bat and they score right away, and it's okay, great, the home team gets a rebuttal, but I just don't think it's the same as starting with no one on base. Like,
You know what? You know it's gonna be crazy. Like next year, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, so the team who's away can now hit walk offs." That I guarantee that's gonna be a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I don't
yeah, it
like it.
gets to the point like because we've talked about this a bunch with a lot of guests on the show, is that if you're a baseball purist, and I think there's a certain demographic, maybe an age bracket that starts to be like, don't tamper with the game,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Because I agree with you, but I think there's all these like newer fans are like, I want to speed up the game. You know, I don't.
Yeah, I
But
I don't know
don't.
yeah, like you
personally.
said, we're like diehard baseball fans. Like the play the freaking game the way it's meant to be. Like that's actually a thing. Like people start off at second and like extra innings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that just started on. I mean, I think that started this year because I
yeah,
when there was a runner on second, I
So
actually had stepped
stupid.
away from the game for a second, and all of a sudden I heard there was someone on second, and I said, "Are you kidding? Someone got a double?" And then I came out, and it was like, "Nope, they're starting with a runner on second, and it was the last
yeah.
guy out from the prior inning." So I
It's
just
a it's a double A and a triple A
Yeah, I'm not into it.
rule that they've
Yeah.
started to implement this, so that games, might not go 13 and like 14 innings, but I mean I love it, you
Yeah.
know.
Hell, let the game go 18 innings. If the game,
Right,
if
exactly. It's free
whatever, just keep
baseball.
playing. Just
Exactly.
keep playing the game.
Right.
That's it.
And it's
They're paying. They're not paying you to play. They're paying you all this money to try to win. So you got to do it as long as it takes.
right.
Not to bring up football too, but like it's almost like there
No,
shouldn't
I
be any
agree. I agree.
ties
We have
in
another.
games.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Mo.
No, no, there shouldn't be any ties in any games for sure. I know that's never going to happen in baseball, but like the whole football thing too, like a football game should never end in a tie.
Yeah,
Especially all these. There's only six. Well, now there's 17, but you're paying your money to go watch your team play, and you probably are only going to go to one game that year, and you're going to watch a tie. Like, no, come on. And then people argue, well, they don't want the players to get injured, and it's like I think that's really a
up
lame
to them.
argument, but that's just me.
I agree.
That's on them. They get hurt. They
I
get
don't
hurt.
like
Like
ties.
Yeah,
you can't stop it.
yeah.
We have another question from Dave Coolis. I just want to ask this. He asked, does Schulte ever not swing a shaver? Schulte's not here. We thought he was going to be on the show. A shaver, basically just a bat that's maybe been tampered with. He's had some accusations over the years that are never been found any charges. And I know Mike doesn't like that accusation, so we won't go too far into it. Jesse DeLea also asked, can y'all come out? This might take a little bit. I should have looked over this a little bit. Can y'all come up with the best all-time left-handed starting five? I bet my rotation would beat any years that you come up with. For the sake of time,
Oh, I
who's the
don't know.
best left-handed pitcher that you feel like you've ever seen?
Randy
Oh,
Johnson.
Yeah,
is Randy Johnson lefty?
yeah, he is.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say Randy Johnson. I'm gonna probably. I don't remember, but you gotta remember Kim Lincecum. Was he a
Oh
righty
yeah,
or a lefty?
that's who
Oh
I
yeah,
would go with.
Was he a lefty?
he was a lefty.
Tim Lincecum. Tim Lincecum was a beast. He was so good. Like definitely in his prime when he first started, he was a monster. So yeah, Tim Lincecum.
Cliff
That's mine.
Cliff Lee, former Philly.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I had him on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was pre when I was alive, it would be Steve Carlton. He was also a Philly too. I think he won 3 or 4 Cy Youngs. But if it's post, obviously, now, I would have to say CC Sabathia.
That's a good one.
We had to write a list. I didn't know we had to write a list. Shit.
Yeah, and I this is partly me. I sent this to Mo. I think I sent the screenshots of this. So Mo, do you actually have a top five?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really have top five. I just have five who would be in my
All
rotation.
right.
But I have Steve Carlton, Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, Randy Johnson, and CC Sabathia.
I forgot about Cole Hamels. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. That's a good top five.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
well,
say Tim Lincecum for mine and Randy Johnson.
yeah, and Tim Lincecum is up for the Hall of Fame, and he's only like a year older than me, which made me
Wow.
feel like really old. I'm like,
Is he out of baseball?
I
Yeah.
guess so.
He's
Oh,
Yeah,
been
what
out of
Yeah,
happened?
he's been out of baseball for a couple years now.
What
jeez.
happened?
Yeah, I
never.
think he had arm problems.
Tommy
His
John
arm.
surgery?
I'm not sure if that's what it was, but I think his arm just gave out.
See, that's
Called
what
him the
yo,
freak
see,
or whatever.
that's kind of what happens though when these pitchers go up to the mound, these new guys, and like 2 3 years, man, they're throwing their arms out. Like and
Yeah,
then
well, he
it's
had that crazy wind up or whatever.
yeah.
After a while.
Look what happened. Look what this is kind of but I it was a while ago. But look what happened to Strasburg.
Yeah,
Didn't he have to get Tommy John surgery after like 4 years of playing?
yeah,
I was like, yo, like you push these guys to the limit, like they're gonna throw their arms out, which is crazy.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it happens. You're a pitcher. It's gonna happen one way or the other.
right.
I think Dan's having some technical issues over
Yeah,
there.
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen. It's not a surprise. It
There he
always
is.
happens. There he is. Oh no! What
Oh,
happened
he's
again?
Oh
gone.
no.
He'll come back.
I'll come back. Oh no, it always happens every time. Every time I have Dan on my show, he always has to. His Wi-Fi's always acting up. It happens. It happens. Wrigley Field. I've never been to Wrigley Field. Is it
Oh
nice?
man, it's like heaven. I love Fenway though. I love Fenway Park. I've been to Fenway, like twice now. And that Green Monster, that thing's a beast.
The thing, yeah, Fenway Park obviously looks a lot like bigger on TV, but when you're there, it's like
It's small.
tiny.
It's
It's
really
It's
tiny.
so
small.
small. It's so
It's
condensed. Like
small.
it's so tiny. Like I told
Yeah,
my friend, I was like, it's a tiny field.
yeah.
I'm a Red Sox fan, and I've been to Yankee Stadium once, and I will admit their stadium beautiful. Yankee
I bet
Stadium is
the new one or like the
so
old one.
no the new one, the new one. I never
Yeah,
went to the old one.
yeah. The
I
new
went to
one.
the new one. Oh, dude, so nice. I went there in 2014 with my dad, and we went to go see Derek Jeter play. Just to
Hmm.
go, and that
Just to
was
see
the
Derek
only
Jeter.
time.
Yep.
Just to see Jeter play. That was the only time I rooted for the Yankees. I'm like, I'm never rooted for them again. This is the only time.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
But it was very cool to see Derek Jeter play. He almost hit a home run. He almost hit a home run, but I think like the right left fielder robbed it, and everybody was pissed. I almost saw Derek Jeter hit a home run in person. That would have been sick.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer,
No
which
doubt.
was definitely, deserved for sure. And I mean, talk about someone who the shortstop position, as hard as it is, but when you're also hitting for average and playing that position, like
Yeah,
that's so hard to do. And
Yeah.
um, to end his career, I think he walked off against the Orioles, which is just like, can you
He
imagine?
did.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's almost like a movie, like,
yeah.
and you never see something like that happening in real life. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, he definitely did it again.
Yep.
He got a massive what we call in wrestling pop at Fenway when he got a hit. Like that place went nuts in his last game. That Fenway Park went nuts.
Yeah. There's.
That's Fenway. That's how you can say that you're playing against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox
Yeah.
fans went crazy for that hit. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
There's just
sure.
certain guys that no matter who they play for, you just respect them because of how they play the game of baseball.
Derek Jeter.
Oh, is he back?
I think,
Yeah, he
did you
is.
ever see Will Ferrell do like a video to that? You have to check that out on YouTube. It's pretty funny.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Hey, Dan.
Dan, you're back. Oh, he's frozen. Uh oh.
Oh, are
Oh,
we
he's
back?
Are you
moving.
good?
He's moving.
He's moving. He's moving, moving. He's moving, moving.
Maybe it's just the audio.
No, I think it's his Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
Wait, he's not on mute. I think. Does he hear us? Uh
I don't think so. I don't think he can hear us.
You guys hear me?
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you. He said, "Introduce." Sorry, buddy. We're sorry, bud. Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, he needs to get some new. I think he needs some new Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Who's your cable? Or like who's your internet provider?
I think he said. I think he said. Comcast.
You got to call Comcast.
Yeah, fuck. He's
Talk
all.
about bad things that happen in Philadelphia. It's definitely Comcast.
You
That's
know,
the
one.
headquarters.
That's one field I would love to go to. Well,
Yeah,
obviously,
me
Citizens
too.
Bank. Yeah.
Philly. I
Yeah,
would
me
love to
too.
go to Philly.
It's really nice. I mean, it actually was designed, believe it or not, the right field fence for Jim Thome,
Really?
because his second season with the Phillies, they had just opened Citizens Bank Park, and and then they got Ryan Howard, who also hit lefty right after. So it was like they go for those guys, the lefties that can hit the home
Short
runs, and that's where it is.
Tommy Power, baby.
What a good guy too.
Oh, there he is. Dan, can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh
All
my
right.
God, this poor guy. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Like it happens luckily it never happened on like one of my podcasts, but every time like we just like chat with all my friends, he's on StreamYard. His internet always goes out.
Oh geez. Um, but yeah, no, I'd love to go out to Wrigley. I have never been to Chicago, um, but I heard it's really cool, and I want to go to the Bean or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, yeah. I don't miss living in Chicago anymore. I do miss being able to go like to Wrigley Field. I
Yeah,
Where
really
do you live
do.
now?
I live in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
just
nice,
I just moved out here about 2 years ago.
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm from Connecticut. We have nothing in Connecticut. I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, I like Connecticut. It's just we don't have. We used to have the New Britain Rockets. The Rockets used to be the affiliate to Minnesota Twins, and there's a bunch of people who played there. David Ortiz,
hmm
Justin Morneau, Torrey Hunter, all of them. They played like right. I live right near the stadium. It's like right around the corner from my house. So it's pretty cool to know. Like, hey, David Ortiz played there.
That's cool.
And everything.
How
So
close
yeah,
to Boston do you live in from Connecticut? Like, is that like a pretty lengthy drive or?
2.5 hours.
Oh, that's not terrible.
No, it's not. I mean, I've been to Fenway Park like 4 times, and which I wish I went more. But yeah, it's like 2 hours, 2 hours away.
All right.
Uh, can you hear us? Uh oh,
Oh no, I thought he was back.
Dan the man. So did I. He's back, but he can't hear us. Poor guy, poor fella.
He's just having all sorts
Maybe
of trouble.
I think he should just turn on his hotspot. Link it to his computer. Oh man, this poor kid, poor dude. It happened. It's his first show. It's okay. All first show. No first show is perfect. I did. I'm glad. I'm glad Danny's using Streamer though. I use it for my podcast, and it's like the greatest thing.
Yeah, it's cool to go live because then you can have like people comment in and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Wait, can I see the comments here? I can. Oh, there's only two.
What did you click? Chat?
I just pressed comments.
I
He
don't.
said he's gonna end the broadcast and start another one.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to go live. Like if you can just record it.
Yeah. You might want to let him know that. I don't know if he fully knows that.
I think I told him you could just record it and not go live. I don't know if that'll make a difference, but we'll see. I feel so bad. Poor guy. I think it is time for him to get new. You could end this one. And